Those people have just had an unbelievable experience that they'll never forget. They were able to communicate with a lost loved one. How you doing? We are going to meet some families who say that they desperately would like to communicate with loved ones who've passed away under very unusual circumstances, most of them. Now, George Anderson is a renowned medium, and he is the author of Lessons from the Light, and he is going to put our guests in touch with the lost loved ones. Please welcome George Anderson to the show. How do you do this? How do you do it?
Well, I think probably what people should understand is I'm merely the instrument, and myself, I'm nothing. The souls will come because they want to. They want to reach out to us here on the earth to provide hope, reassurance, comfort, whatever they feel is necessary.
You know, people are very skeptical about what you do. So I want to go on record and let our audience know that we've done something very unusual with today's program. We have not told you anything about our guests who are here today. It's the first time that we've had a guest on the show doesn't know who's here, why they're here, anything about them. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Not a word.
That's the way it should be.
All right, for the first time, this is Teresa. Sitting next to Teresa is her husband, Thomas. Next to Thomas is their son, Lucas.
Okay, of course, just say yes, you understand. Okay, bear with me 1 second, because a female person comes forward, but a male also. So I take it you understand?
Yes.
But the male takes the front line. Understood? Okay, because there is a lady with him, and it's like she opened the opportunity, but he takes the front line. He states he's family, yes?
Yes.
Talks of passing young, too.
Yes.
Correct.
He comes to you as a brother, yes?
Yes.
Because he says, I want to add some variety to the show. He says, instead of coming as the son that passed on, I want to come as the brother who passed on. So immediately moved to you, put his arm around you, and claimed to be your brother and your pal. Unfortunately for you, you've lost a brother, but you've also lost a good buddy.
Yes.
Because your brother comments that you do talk to him.
Yeah.
You pray for him, but you talk to him. So he says, as much as you feel he's gone, he challenged you that you must believe he's still there because you talk to him. Now, he does speak of a tragic passing, correct?
Yes.
Because I see the earth, he shows me the earth shifting on its axis. So apparently this has turned your world upside down. Funny, he says you heard of these things happening, but you never thought it would happen to you.
Yes.
He also speaks of violence in his passing, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Says to you, you could not save him.
No.
Because in the depths of your heart, you kind of blame yourself. And as he says, he knows that you love him and he loves you and tells you, do not blame yourself. He also reports of being a victim, yes?
Yes.
Because he brings up that there's foul play in his passing. Understood? But yet, accidental.
Oh my God.
Understood? Especially to you, too, his dad. You definitely suffer in silence over the passing. You feel, he knows that you feel in the depth of your soul that you have failed as a dad.
Oh my God.
And he says you have not And your son says, trust me, if I had an axe to grind with you, you'd hear about it. So he says, you have not failed as a father.
Can you relate to anything he's saying?
Oh, every bit of it. All of it makes sense.
Can you tell me?
Early Sunday morning, when the day we lost our son, it was a typical Sunday morning. We went to church, my husband and I did. The day went on like a typical day. That afternoon, I got a phone call from his fiance where she was a little upset. Proceeded on later on that evening, my son Corey called me. It was late. It was like 8:30 at night. Corey was at a totally different kid on the phone with his voice, totally different. Any other time when Corey tried to do things to his own self, you could hear it in his voice. You could hear the tears coming out. That night, no, he was at peace. He was calm. He just said, Mom, just remember that I love you and my brothers and my dad. And please, Mom, your tears are going to quit. You're not going to be in pain no more. And I knew then, Sally, that I was going to lose my son. I knew it.
You knew he was going to kill himself?
I knew, because he had attempted prior before that.
He tried to commit suicide a couple times.
The fear of going to bed every night, knowing whether or not your son was going to be with you the next day, was awful.
I know.
Anyway, Corey, automatically, I said, Corey, your dad's coming in town to look for you. And the phone went dead. He didn't want us to find him. I know he didn't.
So I went into town and I went to the house where he was staying at, and they had stated that he had just ran out the back door with a gun. And
Could
they
it
took
have been accidental?
Yes.
We have the
You have
questions
to
of that.
understand, George is saying it is an accident. Could he have had a gun and not intended to shoot himself?
He could have, yes, but he was at a park and there was another person with him. And I believe that other person might have tried to stop him.
So maybe he really didn't want to leave us that night.
But that night, I was sitting on Main Street, you know, trying to find him, and a police officer went by, and then pretty soon another one. I thought, well, something's wrong. So I turned around and I followed the next police. And we come to the park, and I drove around and I stopped, and there was a guy standing there. I said, can you tell me what happened? He said, a young guy just shot himself. And I knew then, right then, it was my son. So I got out of the truck, went over there, and I started going up to where everybody was at, and a guy stopped me. And he turned around and he said, who are you? And I says, is that my son, Corey? And he said, you can't go up there, Mr. Seibring. He said, you can't go up there.
Do you talk to your brother? Have you ever gone to where he was?
Yeah, where the incident that it happened was in a park at a tree, and we made a memorial around the tree, all of our friends. And after time, I still go out there. I sit there and like I talk to him, and I just talk to him and tell him about the good times we had. And it's hard. Nobody even actually realizes how hard it is.
No, they don't.
And you lose a friend and a brother.
Somebody who knew everything about you and was there every day of your life. Was he older?
Yeah. There was only 18 months of difference.
Could you tell us, is he with someone else right now besides
Well,
you?
he said he was with the grandmother so far.
Grandmother.
The great-grandmother to him that he said was yours.
We will be right back.
Thank you, George.
Kind of gives us a little bit of a closing. That he really didn't want to leave us. Means he said it was accidental. This is what I wanted to hear.